नमस्ते और स्वागत है आप सबका हमारे पॉपुलर वेबिनार सीरीज लेसन्स फ्रॉम द मास्टर्स पावर्ड बाय आदित्य बिरला सन लाइफ म्यूचुअल फंड्स के इस एपिसोड में। दोस्तों, हम सब की तरफ से हैप्पी न्यू ईयर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल। दोस्तों, जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि हमारी इंडस्ट्री 100 लाख करोड़ की तरफ तेजी से बढ़ रही है। बट क्या हम इस चीज के लिए प्रिपेयर हैं? आखिर उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को टैप करने के लिए डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को कैसे तैयारी करनी होगी? हमें कैसे सिस्टम्स एंड प्रोसेस एस्टेब्लिश करने होंगे वहां तक पहुंचने के लिए? आज का ये एपिसोड इन्हीं पहलू को मद्देनजर रखते हुए क्रिएट किया गया है। और इस विशेष सवाल का जवाब देने के लिए आज हमारे बीच मौजूद है जिग्नेश देसाई जी, जो कि एनजे ग्रुप के जॉइंट एमडी हैं। जिग्नेश भाई को इंडस्ट्री में कौन नहीं जानता। दोस्तों, जिग्नेश जी को 28 सालों से ज्यादा का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बिजनेस में एक्सपीरियंस है। जिग्नेश जी ने ही एसआईपी का कॉन्सेप्ट इंडिया में पॉपुलर किया था। वो देश के सबसे बड़े डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर होने के साथ साथ बहुत सारे सोशल एक्टिविटीज भी करते हैं। जिग्नेश जी आज बात करेंगे द वन एंड ओनली मिस्टर के एस राव जी से। के एस इज द हेड ऑफ इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डेवलपमेंट एट आदित्य बिरला सन लाइफ म्यूचुअल फंड। दोस्तों, के एस जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि वो एक मिशन पर है, इन्वेस्टर्स को एजुकेट करना और जागरूक करना और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स की तरक्की का साथी बनना। इनफैक्ट एज वी speak under his leadership, Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund has backed Outlook Money Awards for opting the most innovative approach to investor education. This is 36th award of the fund house in just 9 years. Without wasting any single minute, let me welcome Jignesh Bhai and KS. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Nishant. Indeed, it's nice of you for those words. I'm honored to be with Jignesh Bhai this today. It's like, it's a truly a celebration. आज एक ऐसी दिन है स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का 150th बर्थ एनिवर्सरी। साथ साथ वो जागरूकता हम लाते हैं जिग्नेश भाई के साथ। It's like the true spirit which he brought into the distribution and mutual funds. It's a true honor, and it's to start 2023 with a big bang. I mean, Jignesh भाई को ये कह सकता हूँ, ये big B of industry for the distribution today. And thank you so much, Jignesh Bhai, for joining. It is a great honor, and for me, it is a true honor for me. Indeed, not only I'm starting my first session with you in the current calendar year, शायद I had a privilege to have post-pandemic on-ground first event मैं आपके साथ किया था गोवा में. I mean, I think many firsts which are coming to me in this path, probably I'm fortunate enough. And today with us, a lot of MFDs looking forward to listen from the old story. And first of all, congratulations to you and Neeraj Bhai, the way you have created a system. I mean, it's a phenomenal case study. When I go to some of the management colleges, this becomes a case study for them. This becomes an understanding. Today we talk about startup India या stand up India. आपके ये startup और ये stand up बहुत लंबा कड़ा हुआ है. In the sense, it's already there. It is. And it's like somebody said very rightly, very jokingly, if the two Gujaratis are coming, what cannot stop? It's like, Amit Bhai and Modi ji, and likewise Neeraj Bhai and Jignesh Bhai, then, nothing can stop them. Unstoppable Gujaratis, that's the way I look at. With this, I'll just stop here. And I was also, it's a very impressive. I remember I was, by the way, I go to some of the management colleges, including few IIMs, as a guest lecture. And I remember 2003 या 2004 में that time we were just talking about I think 2001 NJ got first 100 crores AUM, and that was a talk of the town that point of the time. And from that to today, the journey is multifold. Of course, we would like to hear from you how that whole journey has started. It is not easy. I mean, 28 years before, शायद 1994 में आप शुरुआत किए थे, काफी ऑब्स्टेकल्स था. एंड अनटिल एंड अनलेस आपकी एक विजन स्ट्रांग होता है, विल पावर स्ट्रांग होती है और बिजनेस की अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होती है, ये खड़ा करना काफी मुश्किल की काम है. एंड आप यू प्रूव दैट, एंड फॉर एवरी वन ऑफ अस यू हैव बिकम ए रोल मॉडल. एंड फॉर इवन एन एमएफडी आज जो शुरुआत बिजनेस करते हैं और एमएफडी बिजनेस में है, आई मीन व्हेनेवर यू आर डाउन, जस्ट लुक एट एनजे, देन यू गेट बैक that kind of, I mean, for me NJ is not Neeraj bhai, Jignesh bhai, NJ is also नया जोश. आप कभी भी थोड़ा डाउन हो, एनजे के बारे में सोच लो, आपको नया जोश आ जाएगा. With this, I'll just put, and we'll start our conversation. शायद we would like to understand the audience here or all MFDs. I mean, today we have little over 150 on Zoom, and we have around 700 on the Facebook at this point of time. And looking at this, like we would like to hear from you a 28 years ka journey, and what made you to start at that time, how this journey was tough, and how this journey can become a stepping stone for any of the people who take the MFD as a profession today, whether they can join with an NGA partnership or they can do individually.
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you so much, Premji, Nisanji, and Ravji for giving us opportunity to interact with MFDs. And Happy New Year to all. We actually started this organization in '94, and NJ stands for Neeraj Bhai and me. And we were roommates when we were studying, and then we thought of doing something of our own. And then we explore many opportunities, even in other FMCG businesses and other exports opportunities and all. And then all those businesses required large capital. And we wanted to get into a business where there is no capital requirement. And so financial services was the only business where you required a very little capital, and it's more of a service-oriented business. And fortunately, 92 in India, private sector got approval to conduct mutual fund business. Before that, it was UTI and other funds in a very, very different structure. But 92, we got a new regulation, new framework, and a new trust structure. And then I think Kothari, they started off their mutual fund journey after these new regulations. And then in 94, we actually started our career with the broking business. So we were the sub-broker of Bombay Stock Exchange. And in those days, we used to dial a call to the broker, and then it was all manual. So there was no screen and all, with the yellow transfer forms and all those situation at that time. And then we thought it's a tough business, it's a difficult business, and difficult to scale up actually. And then we started exploring fixed deposit. So in those days, we started our fixed deposit agencies, I would say, with the DSP, Kotak, RR Financials and all. So we were the sub-brokers of all these entity. So we used to go to Bombay, collect the forms, and then we try and talk to the investor, those who are keen to invest in company deposit. Because in those days, company deposit was a culture, and there was a concept of a manager to the deposits. So generally the DSP, JM and all, they were the manager of the deposits. And then we thought, let's explore the agent network. So then we started approaching agents, those who are into general insurance and the life insurance. And then we used to provide them application form of fixed deposits. And then we collect, we personally go to their home and collect the application form along with the check and provide them receipts and all. So those were the days. And then we saw presentation of JM Mutual Fund. So that was the first presentation we saw on the mutual funds. It was an open-ended mutual fund, and I still remember the campaign was excellent. There was a campaign based on the cricket. So then you have one plate, and then there was a straight drive, and there was a hook. So it's a plate is a liquid fund, straight drive is a debt fund, and hook was the equity fund. So then we thought it's a brilliant, amazing vehicle. And for the small amount, medium amount, large amount, for short term, medium term, long term, for low risk, medium risk, high risk. So it's a very versatile vehicle. And then I think Birla, they came out with the fund, and we then started distributing those funds. ITC Threadneedle was there. So we conducted around 5 investor meet, and we end up getting 3 application form and total amount of 15,000 rupees. And out of those 3 investors, one of them was our employee only. Not employee, one of our friend, sorry. So, so those were the days. But then I think we started meeting people, and largely insurance agents, and our role was very, very well defined. RTD, the recruitment, training and development. So we used to do RTD always. So we recruit those agents, we train them, we develop them, and then God has been kind. So journey start ho gayi aur dhire dhire sab. So this is a small old story for NJ. Yeah.
Amazing, Jignesh bhai. I mean, it's life was not easy. The way inventing, शायद it was a frustration भी हो सकता है 5 मीटिंग के बाद 3 application लाना, and so much of effort, so much of it, and accepting things. Those days, mutual fund as a concept, and the best part, even some of my colleagues still remember they traveled along with you on a 2-wheeler as a pillion riders, and then going door to door. I mean, if I can look at NJ's success story in the last 28 years from evolution, and typically in the last 22 years from your 100 crores to today, it's over 1.4 lakh crores of AUM. It's a phenomenal journey. I mean, it's not just a network of distributors, but network of very trained, skilled, passionate distributors. And today, if we can, industry mutual fund sahi hai, we celebrate SIP ke बारे में, 13,000 crores of SIP book we celebrate. You are the one who promoted first time the perpetual SIP. शायद SIP के माने एनजे में ये होता है, इट इज नॉट सिस्टमेटिक इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान, ये होता है सिस्टमेटिकली इन्वेस्ट परपेचुअली. वो SIP के नया भाषा शुरुआत की थी आप लोग. और देन टुडे वी टॉक अबाउट घर घर म्यूचुअल फंड और हर घर म्यूचुअल फंड. ये आप 2003 में शुरुआत की थी, हर घर म्यूचुअल फंड. एवरी हाउस शुड होल्ड एन SIP. दैट इज द विजन व्हाट यू हैड. And second, one great part you all communicated is quality of advice never comes at free. And before we go on the industry side, probably we would like to hear from you. What are those 3-4 things which have worked in favor of NJ, which is that your vision, and what is that made this enterprise such a big one? Yeah. And I request audience to please use the Q&A for questions. Anything otherwise you can put on the chat. Please feel free, and we can take as many questions as possible, and I know we can get those wisdom shared by Jignesh bhai.
Yeah. So first of all, we have kept our parameters very few. Like we understood the power of compounding well in advance. So हमें लगा कि ये बहुत अमेजिंग चीज है, ये बहुत सिंपल चीज है, काफी बोरिंग चीज है, बट इट्स अ अमेजिंग थिंग. तो देन वी थॉट कि अपना लेट अस फोकस ओनली ऑन म्यूचुअल फंड. सो एक फिल्टर वो लग गया कि म्यूचुअल फंड के बाहर कुछ करना नहीं है. सेकेंड इज लेट अस फोकस ऑन इक्विटी, बिकॉज लॉन्ग टर्म के अंदर बिकॉज ऑफ पावर ऑफ कंपाउंडिंग जो वेल्थ बनता है वो काफी ह्यूज डिफरेंस बिटवीन if you compound your monthly 10,000 rupees for 30 years at 8% and 15%, the difference is huge. So we thought let us focus on equity. तो ये दूसरा पैरामीटर हो गया. And third is let's focus on SIP. So systematic investment करके how we can help investor to create their wealth and to achieve their long-term goals. तो स्टार्ट अर्ली, इन्वेस्ट रेगुलरली, इन्वेस्ट फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म. ये एक सिंपल एक कॉन्सेप्ट हो गया और उसके ऊपर फिर काम किया. सी द इन म्यूचुअल फंड I think it's a very boring stuff. तो काफी कम चीजें करनी है बट बार बार करनी है. सो वहीं पे थकान आती है. मतलब जो आज की तारीख में भी इफ आई वांट टू सेल SIPs, तो 25 साल पहले जो बात करते थे वही आज बात करना है. एसेट एलोकेशन की बात करना है कि एसेट एलोकेशन ही डिटरमाइन करेगा आपका रिटर्न. परफॉर्मेंस बेचना नहीं है. परफॉर्मेंस हर 3 साल में टॉप क्वार्टाइल के फंड चेंज हो जाते हैं. तो हमें एसेट एलोकेशन पे फोकस करना है, परफॉर्मेंस पे काम नहीं करना. तो हमने पैरामीटर्स कम रखे हैं एंड वी स्टिक टू दोस पैरामीटर्स. इवन इन बैड टाइम्स वी ऑल आर ह्यूमन. हम सब इंसान हैं. तो हमें लगा कि ये तो बहुत टाइम लगेगा और कैसे सरवाइव करेंगे, सैलरी भी कैसे पे कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि अर्निंग AUM पे होता है. AUM छोटा था, खर्चा बढ़ते जाता था. सो वी actually visited Bombay in some of the broker to start equity business. And जब हम रिटर्न आ रहे थे तब फ्रॉम मुंबई टू सूरत, तो वलसाड स्टेशन पे हमने कॉफी पिया और डिसाइड किया कि नहीं, हमें ये नहीं करना है, हमें म्यूचुअल फंड पे ही लगना है. सो दैट फोकस इज वेरी वेरी क्रिटिकल. मतलब कोई भी चीज आप एक चीज 10 साल 20 साल 30 साल करेंगे तो वो हो जाएगा. आप पौधा भी लगाएंगे तो उसको आप 10 साल 20 साल 30 साल पानी देंगे तो वो फ्रूट देने वाला है, पक्का देने वाला है. तो इसमें कोई ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है. बट जो फ्यू पैरामीटर्स को पकड़ो और उसके ऊपर लगे रहो.
Fantastic. And friends, I think this could be the biggest lesson, the simple lesson, but it is very profound, which we never follow. I mean, we always, it looks good in the bull market, we'll become bull, bear market, we'll become depressed. Either, you continue with your investor and focus on one thing. And it's the clarity with which Neeraj bhai, Jignesh bhai got way back is mutual fund is the way to go. And, you understand that. And then the power of compounding is which works. And the mantra is very simple, which always we speak day in, day out, start early, start regularly, and stay for long term. Probably we need to stick to those basics, that back to schools. That's where the success mantra, it's the foundation today, whatever NJ stands for. It's like, it's a big enterprise today, which owns the highest AUM than any other biggest bank in the country cannot own that kind of AUM. And the strongest network of the people, and they are very committed workforce, highly committed, devoted people. When I talk to NJF colleagues, whether I go to Delhi or whether I go to Chennai, the passion remains the same, the language remains the same. They stick to those basics. And thanks, Jignesh bhai. Now, I would like to take this, we will go little towards future. Shayad the 28 years ka past is fantastic. And the past hurdles looks very simple for us, though during that time it was a very big hurdle. And the future looks very pragmatic, which may not be always like, right now it looks very, very pragmatic. Today, mutual fund industry truly on a growth path. And we all talk about the opportunity hai, ye 100 lakh crores ka, like, by 2030, I mean, another 6 years, 7 years from the down the line. And I'm sure NJ got a vision, mission, and, accelerated, and you have a proven methodology. One, we would like to understand how NJ is preparing for it. I mean, there is one thing which I could see NJ's journey is whatever the industry is growing, उसमें 15% या 20% मेरा हो. That's a philosophy which you follow. And if I am also an MFD, what is that I need to do and replicate for it?
Yeah. So basically, if you look at in terms of the mantras or the philosophy for way forward, is I think the copy paste. There is no much of a change in terms of the core principle or a philosophy for the way forward to capture the opportunity. So still, if you look at mutual fund or a health insurance or a life insurance, the penetration is extremely low compared to the Western country. And as you rightly said, there is a huge opportunity in next 5 to 7 years. Particularly in mutual fund distribution, unfortunately, very, very few distributors are active compared to the force which is available with the insurance sector. So I think it's a great opportunity for youngsters to get into a mutual fund business. Number one. Number two, yes, you need a patience because there is no upfront commission, and it takes time to build AUM. Then probably you get a better annuity. But there is a good opportunity to create a structure whereby you can become a life advisor to the family, and probably mutual fund, health insurance, life insurance, and even for that matter, loan products. So if you have a entire basket of product stroke services to offer to the customer, I see a huge opportunity for the new entrant, for the new distributors stroke youngsters. I think the biggest challenge, according to me, for the distributor is to gain trust of the investor. I think that is the only thing where you must focus, and you should deploy your 100% energy is to gain trust of your customer. So your 90% job is done. That's the biggest thing. So whenever you offer a product or services to the customer, try and understand his situation, try and understand what are his needs, and based on that, irrespective of your earning model, irrespective of your effort versus earning ratio, just only focus to fulfill the customer's goal. I think your job is done. Your job is done.
Fantastic. Jignesh भाई, मेरा इंटरेक्शन काफी एनजे पार्टनर्स के साथ होता था, एंड फिर अभी भी काफी जगह मैं जब इंटरेक्ट करता हूँ, आई फाउंड द फिलॉसफी आप जो इंग्रेन कर दिए थे. I mean, one fundamentally I understand, particularly the NJ part, not only partners, the people who in charge, they understand the customer so well. That's what you have ingrained on them. Customer को समझो, ठीक तरह. And second, I
think,
also
sorry to interrupt you. What I'm trying to say is कि knowledge, technology, and other stuff is very easy to outsource. You can outsource from IT vendors. You can outsource from platform like us and all. But you can't outsource the recipe of getting trust from the customer. So that is the core job of a individual. तो आप वहीं पे फोकस करो, बाकी सब अपने आप fall in place हो जाएगा. Sorry, yeah.
Gain trust to gain the AUM. First that's a mantra of gain trust to the gain the AUM, or gain trust to the grow the AUM. That's a way to look at. And जैसे आप और एक बार कहा था, youngsters के लिए opportunity काफी ज्यादा है, and it's a fantastic opportunity. Even at ABC, we have a philosophy, not only at asset management, we have other multiple wings of health insurance, life insurance, and the personal loans. I mean, we go with a concept called PIFA, protection, investment, finance. I mean, financing and advice. And if we can look at this bucket, and you put it very nice philosophy, life of a customer. I mean, you will be the advisor for the life. Then you take care of all the brackets, so that you don't need to worry on the revenue, and you take care of the customers. But the first thing what you said is, let mutual funds come first. There you get the gain of the trust, and mutual funds can make that. And I keep telling people, mutual fund is a mutual friend to accomplish their goals, either for me or something. And some of the models when I see at NJ presentations, currently we work very closely with a couple of pilot programs, Shubharam se Samruddhi tak kind of it, where we can see the revenue model. You start small, 25 साल में आपका revenue कहाँ जा सकता है? That's a kind of build it. Now, when you said about the trust, if there is one to building the trust, each of us need to work on our own. But साथ what I also seen NJ trains the people so much. You invest so much of money on building the skills and capabilities. I mean, entire machinery runs on recruitment के लिए a big machinery runs on. Can you share something? an MFD, what are the skills and what are the capabilities he or she need to build up?
Yeah, for the new
Yeah, for the new MFDs, and of course the existing one, they are already learnt on their
yeah. No, I think couple of things which has worked very well for us. And one is the discipline. I think discipline is very important because you have to do very few things, but that is repeatedly over years. And for that, I think the discipline is very, very critical. Second is it's a long-term game. So in any long-term business building process, you have to review it at a very, very regular, shorter interval. So your review mechanism is very important. So if you are running an organization and if you have a team, then probably you review all the aspect of your business with your team on a very, very regular basis, based on the kind of time that permits you, maybe once in a month to start with, and probably then you can keep it every quarter. We do review every quarter. So we spend around, I and Neeraj bhai both, we spend around 22 days every quarter only to review. So that is one. Second is, if you are individual IFA and you don't have any team, then do a self-review. Then you set your goal for the quarter or for the month, set out your activity calendar and all, and then try and review those things. That will definitely help you. And so this is one thing which has worked very well for us. And otherwise, for the new IFA, your prospecting is very, very key element. So build your powerful database to start with your friends. We call it, I think a lot of insurance companies are also doing the same, my 100, my 50, my 500. And day in, day out, create your own, short script, which is based on the long-term wealth creation. And then you have to do the same thing again and again. Every day, it's the same work.
Fantastic. जैसे जैसे आप बात करते रहते थे, like, there are chat box as filled up with a lot of positivity and comments. Like, some of them, I think this is a Mamta Rao. She says, NJ means trust, and proud to be a NJ partner for the 19 years. And, when I interact with some of them, they take that pride to be a partner with NJ, and they have grown. And along with that, their customers have grown. Since customers have grown, they have grown. That's building the trust as well. And somebody has very nicely put it, I think it's from the Kajol. She said, Saturday online school is a great concept which NJ has put it. For me, NJ एक मकसद होता है continuity of learning. And as a fund houses, when we collaborate with you, your team, always they'll ask is what programs we can do, what training programs we have to do, what investor programs we can do. It's a continuous ongoing engagement. शायद NJ का N could be never stop learning, and J should be always keep that Josh alive. And thank you so much. It could be.
We are fortunate to have one of the best team in the industry. So God has been kind.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Like, it's I think, Vijay Bharadwaj, who said, truly trust of the customer and keeping things simple is the backbone of the NJ, and proud partner of NJ, and with the employees supporting them day in, day out. Fantastic, I think. Coming back, Jignesh bhai, like, now, आने वाले 6-7 साल में, you have said that, that opportunity is bigger. And there is a good MFD community today. Effectively, we have around 121,000 ARNs registered, but 60-70,000 are getting some commission, or 24,000 only working for the industry and a full-fledged. At this point of time, Amphi is working on one big platform, MFD Kare Shuru, and intending to get 5 lakh distributors by 2025. Probably, if that happens, fantastic. But for the existing MFDs, and who want to work on this opportunity. If I can look at their budding angels for tomorrow, and what is that they need to do for the next 1 to 2 years, so that they can get a benefit for the next 5 6 years to capitalize on the mutual fund growth journey.
No, I think आप अगर if you take any industry, जहाँ पे इंडस्ट्री जब छोटा होता है ना, तब मार्जिन ज्यादा होता है, और जैसे जैसे बड़ा होता है ना, वो मार्जिन जो है वो रिड्यूस होता है. I think that is what is even happening in our industry also, in mutual fund industry also. तो अगले 5-7 साल के अंदर डेफिनेटली आप बात कर रहे हो 100 लाख करोड़, वो हो जाएगा, बट आई थिंक द मार्जिन जो है वो मार्जिन विल गो डाउन. वो हर इंडस्ट्री में ऐसा होता है. एंड वहाँ पे बेस्ड ऑन योर situation, your circumstances, your vision, your goal, you can create a model. Like when I meet some of the IFAs, they are very happy with their own standalone practice. That my goal is to service only 200 households, 300 households, 100 households. And I don't want to keep any employee. I personally want to interact with the customer all the time. So that is one model. Now there are different models, like some of the IFAs, they want to acquire retail clients. They want to segment their clients. They want to create a team for retail, team for wealth, team for family office and all. So every model requires its own this thing. So for individuals, you require different kind of a mindset. You require different kind of a process to your practice, because for individual IFAs, you don't need to build your own technology. You just find a platform where you get an opportunity to do plug and play and focus 80-90% time with your customer. I think that will give you the better yield. But there are certain models where you want to hire more people, more team. The challenges are different. You need to focus on CRM, tracking them, and monitor the quality of service, the quality of advice, and so the entire list of parameters changes. So it's all depends on individual. But broadly, whether you are a small or a large, I think couple of things are very important. As I said earlier also, your focus should be on client. Your focus should be on client interest. This is a common principle across the business model. The second most important thing is the multi-product. You should keep other products which are related to mutual fund, life, health insurance, life insurance, and loan products. So this is also, I think, going forward, very important, irrespective of any model you follow.
Bless Jignesh bhai, as we speak again, there are messages are just flowing, and one of the profound message coming from Dr. Saab from Goa, Dr. Celso. I am proud to be a part of Engine, and each of them got a fantastic model. The success, like when I go to Goa, I can see the model which he developed. It's with this I will put one question, which can help larger MFD fraternity. You have seen quite I think yours is the only firm actively engaging with partners, and there are partners who are inching towards upward game, many of them month on month. And if you can look at the most successful partners within that, the top 20%, if I have to attribute, if you have to share, what are their key qualities which are differentiating from the rest? अगर से ये 20% लोग काफी अच्छा काम करते हैं और they are contributing 80% का AUM at NJ, and what are that qualities or traits they have that can be attributed for them and that can be helping the other distributors, the audience can learn out of it. These are the few things I can develop. Earlier you said about the behavior, the skills, and developing the trust, but is that what is the passion? Month on month they want to grow. Not every day thing is the same, but their AUM is growing. One of such persons is Dr. Celso.
Yeah, I think Dr. Saab is a classic example. But if we talk about attributes, I think the most important attributes, according to me, is the passion for your client's goal. मतलब आपके दिमाग में एक बार फिट हो गया कि मेरे को जो सेल्सो साहब वही कर रहे हैं कि कॉलेज के जो स्टूडेंट है उसको 20 साल 25 साल में पकड़ लो और अगले 50 साल के अंदर अगला 30 साल की जो जर्नी है उसमें मैं सपोर्ट करूंगा, एंड I want to help him to create his financial freedom, and I want to help him to create his long-term goal. तो AUM is a by product. तो आपको AUM का टारगेट रखने की जरूरत नहीं है कि 100 करोड़ कैसे करूंगा, 200 कैसे करूंगा, 500 कैसे करूंगा, वो अपने आप बन जाएगा. सो आई थिंक जो भी 20% आप बोल रहे हो सक्सेसफुल है, उनमें ये एक कॉमन चीज है, पैशन है कि मैं जो काम कर रहा हूँ उसमें सामने वाले की सक्सेस जो है वो मेरा बिजनेस है. अगर मैं उसकी गोल को अचीव करने के लिए मैं निमित्त बनूंगा तो मेरा काम हो गया. उसका गोल अचीव हो जाएगा, मेरा गोल ऑटोमेटिकली अचीव हो जाएगा. तो आई थिंक ये एक चीज जो है ना, वो अगर इन प्लेस है ना तो बाकी सारी चीजों को इन प्लेस करने में जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. वो सेल्सो सब में वो चीज है, इसलिए हम दोनों को बुला लिया था उनने गोवा में,
जी.
है ना. तो ये चीज है, तो फिर पूरी सृष्टि आपके साथ लग जाएगी काम पे.
फैंटास्टिक. शायद मार्केट के पीई मत देखो, खुद का पीई के साथ काम करो. एक है पैशन, दूसरा है एंथुसियाज्म.
क्या बात
And
है.
then market PE, you do not have a control. On your PE, you have a control. Always you can make your business to go up and up. That's a way to look at it. You are very right. And there is a very interesting comment which has come from Abhay Kunti as you are speaking at that time about the passion. I mean, NJ has changed the life of lots. Blessings of those who are with NJ, and NJ will change the entire picture of India's investors. Proud to be part of NJ employee, in the sense that's where that passion, like, you said, when we passion on the client goals, then client is happy and client is growing, then my AUM is growing. His AUM is growing, my revenue is growing. That's the way you can look at when you said about multi-products, and how we can look at. But there is one thing I looked at on an investor angle. Today, mutual fund industry is looking at not only 100 crores, 100 lakh crores of AUM. Shayad the 2020 and 2030 तक industry would like to have 10 crore investors. And इसमें MFD का भूमिका काफी ज्यादा है. I mean, largest भूमिका MFD का होता है. And then if you look at on the investor angle, investor is looking at like the way how you said about multi products. Investor की एक ख्याल होता है ना कि I think earlier NJ was looking at and developed that a single window concept. Investor would like to have everything at a convenience and a single advisory platform. You want to see mutual funds, stocks, ETFs, everything there. If in this space, what is your advice for MFDs to look at? I mean, today, fortunately, there are a lot of platforms available, but any advice of you can help them to go quantum leap, acquire new customers, and engage with existing customers to grow the AUM.
Yeah. So globally अगर आप ट्रेंड देखते हो ना, तो globally advisors, we call them individual distributors or a IFA or a family advisor or a life advisor, but they spend their maximum time with the customer, and at the back end they plug their practices with the platforms. So there is a role and responsibility of the platform, and there is a role and responsibility of an individual who represent client. So it's a very simple thing. So if you spend 80% of the time in backend and just spend 20% of your time with the investor, it is very difficult to grow your business. So you spend your 80% time with the customer, and then rest of the thing you can outsource from any of the platform. I think that is a better model for individual IFAs.
Building the digital capabilities to do all the businesses except your reaching out to your customer and being with the customer for you. I mean, you are the piece to reach to the customer. Rest
So
will support you.
that's where you have to invest your time. I think that's what I feel.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. I know that's the way MFDs need to look at. There is a couple of questions which I would like to ask personally before I go back to the audience questions, and before I conclude some questions. We have another 20 minutes time with you. The first question I would like to ask is, the kind of NJ model which I follow is fantastic on the distribution acquisition, acquiring the distributors, engaging the distributors and retaining those distributors and making that to happen. Today, industry got the quantum leap. We intend to have at least 4x of the distribution expansion through MFD Kare Shuru. At Aditya Birla, we have a team called Sampark. हमने पिछले साल शुरू की थी. अभी पिछले 15 महीने में हम we have recruited little over 12,000 new distributors. But end of it, we were not very succeeded on percentage of them contributing. Only 4,000 or 5,000, 4,500 of them are contributing. If we have to follow some model, any advice to fund houses like us, how we can get new distributors and large distribution expansion? And first part. And second part, though you told us they can have a multi-product, but to sustain that business model for them, maybe in 1 year or 2 years, if they have to get a break even and get that Josh to be in the business, what is that we can do?
Yeah. So if you look at from the top, I think there is a scope to improve the social status of the mutual fund distributor. Today, सब लोगों को पता है what is the importance of the family doctor, what is the importance of the family lawyer or accountant. But I think we need to do some work on the importance of the family investment advisor or stroke investment distributor. This is very, very important. तो वहाँ पे मेरे को जगह दिख रहा है. So how to do it, I don't have a correct answer to it, but there is a need to work on this. And second is there is a good opportunity to interact with these youngsters in the campus and to interact with them. And then I think the best way is first make them investor first. Once they open their account in mutual funds, and then probably you get an opportunity to interact with them in terms of the career opportunity in this space. At MFI level also, they started this campaign. It's an amazing, brilliant idea. But I think there is a lot to do in terms of interacting. I am very bullish on this college youngsters. And I think all the universities are also very open to the ideas. They are welcoming us, and our idea is also go and talk to them about this opportunity rather than NJ, but broadly it's an amazing business, and one should look at this as a very, very serious career.
Fantastic, sir. I mean, you put it very nicely. The most important part, आप ये बताए थे social status के बारे में. I'm like today I am very glad most of our MFD friends who are there, they are feeling that, and this was earlier was not there. There's some kind of a disregard was there, and probably things has come back. And today I am also seeing one positive sign. Most of the MFDs, the senior MFDs, they are bringing the next generation to the business. That's a fantastic thing which is happening. And I would like to tell a couple of things at Aditya Birla. पिछले 9 साल से हम एक प्रोग्राम चलाते हैं, My First Paycheck for the college students. We have today tie up with little over 29 universities, and these 29 universities, they do it as a must-do program for the people who are getting the campus placements. As one certificate they need to get that I have undergone My First Paycheck program. And there after that we will interact with them how you need to take this as a profession. And even we just started, we learned from your team. Khata Kolo. I mean, you start your first account today after the session, even with a 500 rupees with your pocket money, open your first folio. I mean, then you will experience how mutual fund can work. I think this is a larger work and not one fund house, or every one of us can work and get the new distributors into the system. And it's going to be a huge opportunity I look at. And I echo your thoughts. How, I mean, yeah, there is one thing, there is no easy thing. Everything is very tough and बहुत मेहनत तो करना पड़ता है. It's not that you can sit in a air conditioned room and get the things done. So things cannot happen at 24 degrees centigrade where you sit in the cabins. Things will happen at 42 degrees centigrade where you go on the markets. I think we all need to do that, and I fully echo. And some of those questions which I'll start taking from you before
And just to add on this, the recruitment side, I think once you recruit, they require a lot of hand-holding. So in our model also, we have a unit manager. Unit manager role is to do, because initially 3 to 6 months, you do a lot of hard work. There is no income. So it's most of a behavior management. So our unit managers, they just do the behavior management of that partner, and to gain the confidence and trust. And then probably, so the only recruitment is not that critical, but post-recruitment process is very, very important. And that is very expensive because you have to, work as a mentor to that person. We can call it mentor or a coach to those people.
Absolutely, sir. I mean, we have started this model. We have a model for 6 months to engage, which currently I'm also doing this model physically on ground with NJ partners at 5 cities. The model hai, the moment we recruit them, very first month, we do a program called Shubharam, Induction to the Mutual Fund Industry. Then we have a Sangyan, we talk about the product knowledge. Then we talk about the second, Samyan and Sankalp, the two modules. We talk about the practice management and business development. And the last one model है समृद्धि, how you need to prosperity. वहाँ goal planning के certification करते हैं American Academy के साथ chartered financial goal planning. ये 5 months ladder में they need to procure some business, get qualified for the next, then they can aspire for more. Yeah. This is a model, and it is working very well today. Within the Birla system, I can see at least 40% of them are getting qualified to 3 to 4 levels of the businesses.
Correct.
I'm so glad. I mean, predominantly. Now I'll go back to some of the questions. I think many of them are very keen and eager. A lot of questions which have come, and it's this is a question. I think I'll take only the important question. Like this is some a horizon investment question. This is asking, how do you foresee RIA method instead of distribution method?
No, RIA model is also a good model, and I think it is taking time in India to taking off, but in future that is also going to be a equally good opportunity, wherein you interact with the customer and you represent the customer, and then you charge to the customer rather than getting commission from the manufacturer. So that is also a model. Internationally, that model is also working very well, and I think in future in India, that model will also do well.
I think both the model will coexist. As a distributor, what you need to choose, what is the strengths for you, you can look at. Maybe starting with an MFD and over a period, you migrate to RIA depending on the situation. You get an AUM. I think that's where it happens. Thanks for this question from Horizon Investment. Once you expand your horizon, you can become RIA, or even within your system, you can have both with a different way. I mean, that's the way to look at. Mr. Chandrasekhara is asking, how the sub-broker model works at NJ. And there is another question related to which is coming from Deepak Kurana. Can existing individual working as an MFD can join NJ?
Yeah, sure. So our role is we enable and empower distributors. That's our role. So we recruit, we train them, and we help them to develop their practice. So all the details are available on our website, and we have physical branches also. So the process is very simple, and then you can interact with any of our unit manager, or you can post your inquiry on our website. We'll definitely happy to connect with you and help you to guide.
Fantastic. The next question, which is coming from Abhishek Chandram. Abhishek is asking, good evening, Rao sir and Jignesh sir. It's like, he's asking for a business model, or it is like, what should be my strategy to acquire clients as an MFD? And my goal is to serve 10,000 investors over the next 10 years with a financial plan.
Yeah. So then you will have to devise your strategy, and then probably based on your business model, because standalone mutual fund, along with mutual fund, you'll have to keep other products as well. And I think the good strategy to acquire large client is one is, as I said, university campus is one good source where you get more number of clients, maybe with a smaller ticket size, but it's a easy logistic model, and it's a very, very low cost model. And second is the corporate campuses. I think corporate campus is also a good model where you connect with many people at one place. Again, a logistically easy model and very low cost model. That's what I feel. So these are the two segments. Third is your social community, like your societies and all those stuff. But largely this university and the corporate campus is untapped, and it's a amazing opportunity because a lot of people are nowadays busy with all this digital dunya and all. But on other side, the campus and corporate offices are waiting for you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jignesh bhai, for that.
If you deep dive and compare your cost of acquisition of this campuses vis-a-vis the digital, is going to be surprise you.
Yeah, absolutely. Related question which has come to you, Jignesh bhai, after that when you said that they are digital. This is a question coming from Jagrut Shah. How do you see your competitors like fintech and direct mutual fund among the young population? How to prevent the wallet share or convert them to our platform?
No. I think there is a room for everyone. So as I said, our role is to only gain trust of the customer. In our case, our customers are our partners. So whatever needs to be done for our partners, we do everything. And our sole purpose is to gain confidence and trust of our partners. Otherwise, I think there is a room for everyone. There is a room for direct also. There is a room for other platforms. There is room for other kind of investment products. A lot of people are doing even derivatives, direct equity. So there is a space for everyone. But for us, I think our focus, our discipline is very, very important. And keep your client in center. And your only mantra is to win trust of your customer, I think.
Fantastic. Bar, that's the message. Take care of your customer, then it will be taken care. Like there is a nice saying in Sanskrit, Ruksho Rakshita Rakshitaha. You save the trees and trees will save you. Similarly, take care of your customer, customer will take care of you. That's a mantra. And I think similar question which has come from Kaustu, how to convince the investor to invest through mutual fund distributor, not with the online platforms. And probably the answer which you already answered. I'll
and just to add to this, and I think answer to this question is, there are so many people in India जिनको म्यूचुअल फंड पता नहीं है. so there is a huge market. If that banda is saying, I know everything and I want to do direct, go to next door.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is one question which has come, I think probably some of the models which are emerging today in the industry. Question is coming from the Shrikant, which says would like to know if you are taking over the existing mutual fund AUMs of the individual MFDs, as there are no family members for doing succession planning. Intention is to make sure my client does not suffer, and as an MFD income also should not suffer. Please give some inputs.
I think globally it's a very normal trend, and in US and UK, the retirement planners, the independent financial advisors, the insurance agents, and the accounting firms and financial services firms, those who are individual and for any reason, one of the major reason which I studied for UK was to retirement, and at that time they sell their business, and there are platform there where you can post your business, and then the platform will do buyer seller matching and all. So as of now, I am not sure about India, but I think the way startups are emerging, some might look at this space, and probably because relatively we are very young. It's a very young industry, and all those innovation stuff and facilitation will come after industry where there is a maturity. And I think in next 5-10 years, I think this kind of platform will emerge, and they will facilitate this kind of needs in future.
Absolutely. I think there are a few questions. I think Dilip is asking, what is a college program? Dilip, NJ got a program called FLAP, and then you can get the details from them. And we have this My First Paycheck we can share with you at later. And this question coming from Inder Singh. Good evening, Jignesh sir and Rao sir. Would like to bring to your kind notice that NJ, only those partners are taken care and support to those who are doing good business, and they don't need any kind of support. Branch manager or unit manager, stop calling the persons who regularly. Probably it is to the NJ, and no, this question it is Inder Singh, would you like to answer this? And
no, my apologize. Agar if you have a bad experience with us, definitely you can send the email to me, and we'll definitely take care of your query.
And Mr. Philip, I think on the softwares we will not, because NJ is such a big platform. I mean, we can deal with your question little later. And I think there is a compliment for you. This is coming from Ashwin, which says NJ has the best digital platform which motivates the advisors and better than any other competitors. Fantastic for that. And there is one question which is asking for your business secret. This is coming from the Dhaval Pant. When is the IPO of NJ Group coming in?
No plans as of now.
And there are a lot of other questions which are coming in. I quickly run through before we conclude. And final question I can put it to you is, Chandrasekhara, I want to recruit and train and develop at least 1,000 MFDs under me. What shall I do? This is a question from Chandrasekhara.
Oh, which city is from?
Probably from Karnataka. Chandrasekhara is the name, looks like he's from Karnataka.
Yeah. So I think if he can contact our Bangalore office, then probably we have a agency manager model, and we have a NJ Express model also for certain territories. So probably they'll be able to guide you.
Yeah. And then going back before we conclude, we have already exceeded your time, Jignesh bhai. One question would like to ask you, like it's the wisdom from you. I mean, you have now 3 decades of experience, and you are one of those very successful entrepreneurs. And touch wood, whatever the simplicity with which you committed and that discipline you brought in has brought you here. And this, if I look at something at Infosys, the Narayan Murthy who followed some mantra which has created a wealth, the way you both have done that mantra which has worked it. And if you can, with this learnings of 3 decades and going forward, next 1 decade, and we call Amrit Kal of Bharat, next 25 years. And what is that your learnings, 2 or 3 learnings can shape up for the next generation, which they can imbibe and that can create future, maybe 25 years later, they can feel I was listening to Jignesh Bhai, this has changed my life. And these are the advices I got from Jignesh Bhai.
No, I think keep your strategy very simple and keep very limited parameters in your business model. And with discipline, do it every day for next 10, 20, 30 years. Definitely you will create something big for sure.
Fantastic. I think I'll stop the questions here and I will also invite Nishant back with us. Nishant, you can come back to us. And it was already I overshoot the time of Jignesh Bhai. Uh, yeah, and Nishant, you can come over and Jignesh Bhai, sincere thanks. I know before we hand over to Nishant, I would like to say the models which you spoke about and it's genesis of NJ, which itself is an inspirational. And where by 2001, when you got 100 crores was a story. Today, you are on the journey of 1,40,000 crores of AUM. I look at in the next 2 years, you may overshoot maybe your 30 years of celebrations, 3 decades will look at 2 lakh crores of AUM. And at Aditya Birla ABC, I always say 3 things you need is your aspiration, your belief, and your commitment. And you have added 3 things to that. 2 things to what is you should have a discipline and you should have an execution. I mean, which is a boring business, but you need to get that execution. And then you spoke today about how MFD can become. I mean, probably you're given a new definition for the MFD. It is a multi-generational financial distributor. You need to get the multi-product distribution right, and you need to look at a multi-dimensional growth, which you spoke about. And I also take one clue from you is never stop learning. I mean, somebody also mentioned about Saturday school, which NJ runs on a regular every Saturday to renew. Probably upskill yourself so that you can upgrade. Then you can unleash the opportunity of 100 lakh crores. Probably I can say take these 3 things: upskill, upgrade, and unleash that opportunity which is coming in. And from NJ, I can only learn is every day morning when you get up, think of NJ, that is Naya Josh. The new day is for you. And that Naya Josh can bring you to the next level of the business. And you also spoke about role of advisor is not just managing the money. Role of advisor is managing the behavior. And managing the behavior of customer is before that you need to manage your own behavior. If I don't manage my behavior first, I can't manage my customer behavior. And then you spoke about patience and the trust. I think patience is a key. And when things are boring, when things are tough, you need to stay with it. And that's where and where comes trust. And probably as an MFD, you can have a single stop solution provider for your customer. Then you become an advisor for life. And life of advisor is life for advisor for life where you can build. And maybe every time when I conclude, I always say what is that in a Cafemutual phenomenal. It is a cafe for us, that message which is a cafe. That cafe for me today is you become a comprehensive advisor with a financial enrichment. And that cafe for the customer you can bring in. It is a lot of learnings. I'm sure 1 hour is not sufficient to get your drill down to your 30 years of wisdom and the success story which you got. And we remain passionate. I mean, we pray for not only for your good health, and we pray for NJ's success story giving the ripples for next 25 years. And I think I can say, when I come to you and your cabin or Neeraj Bhai, the first greeting will come as a Jai Krishna. And I pray to that Krishna that, NJ should prosper in a much, much bigger way. And I also wish all the audience a happy Sankranti and happy 2023. And I'm also grateful to Nishant, Prem, and Anita and the entire team to make this, lessons from the masters Each of this lesson gives something, a perspective. I keep meeting distributors on ground, and they keep telling, this is a lesson I learned on that day, which is shaping up me. I'm sure we all looking at that. And today we spoke to one of those heroes who have made SIP is a household name. I think Hargar Mutual Fund, Gargar SIP, a mantra of Jignesh Bhai and team. And let us stop. I'll stop here, and I will hand over to Nishant. Thank you so much, Jignesh Bhai, for this opportunity for interacting with you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jignesh bhai and KS for such an insightful session. जिग्नेश जी, आपने सही बोला, AUM तो बस बाय प्रोडक्ट है. अगर हम पैशन से काम करेंगे तो हमारा बिजनेस अपने आप ग्रो होगा. KS, as always, you moderated it so well that made this session very insightful and interesting. And finally, I thank each one of you for being such a wonderful audience. Happy New Year, guys. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.